welcome everybody, and I'm sorry you've got me only have me 2 weeks ago, but some of you may remember Joy, Reverend Joy, and we've had to swap over for personal reasons, so you've got to put up with me again. Okay, so thank you. So welcome everybody, welcome if you come every week, if you're on Zoom, if you're new, if you come now and then, welcome everybody. So I'm now going to, first of all, I'd like to say this is a service about a cup of tea and happiness. So I've chosen all the hymns that I like. I've chosen the music that I like to make me happy. And I am happy because I've got the bus here and it's a nice local bus and everybody says hello and it just makes everybody happy when we all say hello to each other. So welcome, and Jill is going to light the chalice, bless her heart. And I believe there was a little problem last week.
Well, I could start off with it.
We used to have that thing, didn't we? Does that work? I can't press it. I can't. It's good fun, isn't it? This might take up half the service.
It might. Especially. Sorry, Anne, I can't do it.
Anybody else want to give a go? Try it. I can't do it because of my hand. Oh! Nearly.
You just have to show who's boss before it gives in.
Don't burn yourself. Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome. Anytime.
So our words today, our opening words, are by Sarah Ruth Weekoy Davis. We light this chalice with all our souls longing to be who we are, to be who we will become, but to be ourselves. And today's service, I hope, is an enjoyable one. As I said, you've got me instead of lovely Reverend Joy, and you will have Joy next week, and she's just so lovely. It suddenly occurred to me that before lockdown, I used to do a yearly cup of tea service. So I thought this might be the right time to reinstate this, especially with what's going on with changes in our church, our lives, and the state of the world. So this service is just really about taking time out, being happy for a while, connecting with each other, connecting with ourselves, and connecting with the divine. Happiness ebbs and flows throughout our time, but we can't value happiness until we've gone through sadness or disappointments. But let's start with our cup of tea, or even coffee, doesn't really matter. So as I said earlier, I started to do my cup of tea services many, many years back after visiting Truro Cathedral, and always a sucker for a book and a shop. I bought this little book and it's called the Tea Lover's Devotional. So part of the service will be coming from this little book. And I remember 2 weeks ago when you were singing your hymns, it was so good that I can even hear you singing now. So we'll have our first hymn, which is Purple Book 148. And I know it was Christina's, Richard's favourite hymn. So Spirit of Life, and stand if you're able. Thank you. The words will come on the screen, or are there hymn books at the back if you want them. Thank you.
Spirit of earth, rose and tree, water
Now, as usual, we have a story which Sheila is going to read, and it is from the little book of devotionals. Thank you, Sheila.
This is entitled The Comfort of Tea, from the Tea Lovers Devotional by Emily Barnes. Collecting teacups in Southern California is really an act of faith. I recall the time we had a major earthquake not far from where I live. Our home was safely south of the epicenter, and my tea things were safe. But friends showed me photos of knee-deep rubble. Days of shaking and aftershocks left all their breakable treasures in shards and shatters. It wouldn't take much of an earthquake to send all my teacups to the floor. Actually, it wouldn't take an earthquake at all, for my fragile teacups are also vulnerable to more mundane dangers. The cat, the feather duster, my grandchildren, my own carelessness. I always have to confess that once I broke 14 of my own prized teacups. A glass shelf was balanced precariously after cleaning, and it collapsed at my accidental nudge. More than a dozen of my favourite cups fell and broke to smithereens. I was so devastated I couldn't face what had happened. I simply swept the china shards into a box and put it on the shelf. And 6 years passed before I could muster the courage to look inside the box. Only one cup was in large enough pieces even to be salvaged with glue, and it will never be the same. All this is to say that I take a significant risk in keeping my teacups out. I take a risk in using them, in letting others use them. But it's a risk I choose to take. I choose it with my eyes open, and I choose it with gladness. After all, life is fragile too. But if we let that risk stopping us from living, we've already lost. While protecting us from injury and loss, we are also cutting ourselves off from joy and growth. But life in all its vulnerable beauty is incomparably worth it. It's this realization that has taught me to take risks with my teacups, not to fall back on safe mugs or paper cups. I've even learned to take those teacups travelling, outdoors on a picnic, or in a basket to visit a friend. Once I move the safety mentality, I can use my beautiful tea things as they were intended, to share joy, happiness, friendship and caring. Truly, a cup of kindness. I can be thankful that something meaningful to me can give comfort to another. So, what will I do when another earthquake comes? I guess I do what anyone must do. I pick up the pieces and then, somehow, have another cup of tea.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you. And at the end of each chapter of this little book, it has a prayer which I will read in the prayers, but it also has a heart action. So after that story, it says, for your heart action, take your best tea items out of their protective wrapper or the cabinet and use them today. So we'll now have our second hymn. It is 193, We Laugh, We Cry, which will be followed by prayers. So stand if you're able.
We need to feel there's something here to wish
few minutes, we'll turn to prayer, so just be silent for a few minutes. After the prayers, we'll have a silence and then reflective music, which will be Celtic harp, and it's played twice just because I like it. And on your chairs, you've got a prayer which we'll come to at the end, and I'd like you, if you wish to join in or just listen or just be quiet. So we'll start with our prayers. And the prayer after the story read earlier is, God, help me to be a compassionate, giving person who is quick to offer up comfort and beauty. Let's not focus on things. Let's focus on hearts. Amen. And then this is a prayer for happiness. Divine Spirit, please help me to rest in your happiness, to allow a smile to linger on my lips, to dwell within a wonderful memory, to walk back through sunlit places. Please help me to awake with hope, to engage with life in all its variety, to take in the beauty of others' joy, to touch the souls of those I meet with thankfulness. Please help me to sing with faith, to carry the truth close in my heart always, to rejoice at new life, and to have peace as I age. Please help me to indulge in love, to breathe in the sweetness of intimacy, to taste the kindness of friendship, to feel the warmth of embrace. Please help me not to miss a single drop of heaven, to catch each moment and drink in the great joy of life. May it be so. And the prayer that I'd like you to join in or just listen is the Buddhist Metta Loving Kindness prayer. I've shortened it slightly, and then we'll go straight into a silence. My heart fills with loving kindness. I love myself. May I be well. May I be peaceful. May I be free. May all beings in my vicinity be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. May all beings in my city be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. May all beings in my country be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. May all beings on every continent be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. May all beings on planet Earth be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. May all beings in the universe be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. May all beings everywhere, whether near or far, whether known to me or unknown, be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. I chose that because I do like the Celtic harp, and I really like the person's name that was playing it. It was by Dreamweaver. So you couldn't get anything nicer, could you, really? So we're now going to have hymn number 24, and those who know me well know this is my very, very, very favourite hymn. Come sing a song with me. So stand if you're able. I was just saying, a reverend from York Minster saw on a cafe wall, where there is tea, there is hope. Okay. And I really like that. And I'm going up to York, not next week, the week after. So I'm going to have a look to see if I can find that cafe with that notice on. We all definitely need to hang on to hope. Can you hear me okay now? You all right? Okay. Offering tea we used to think of as uniquely British, but it really isn't. All over the world, people are welcomed with tea or coffee, usually accompanied with sweet things, which are usually quite yummy. It's a way of making people feel at ease or at comfort when we don't quite know what to do or what else we can do to help. Conversation flows from a cuppa. People relax. I am so grateful for the growers and pickers who work so hard in order for me to have a ritual cup of tea, the ritual of a cup of tea. And we have fair trade tea and coffee here, and I think we've had services about fair trade before. Making a cup of tea slows us down, and we need this because we're getting busier and busier every day. We need to slow down. Thich Nhat Hanh says, drink your tea slowly and reverently, as if it is the axis on which the whole earth revolves, slowly, evenly, without rushing towards the future. And T.S. Eliot writes, I smile, of course, and I go on drinking tea, yet with these April sunsets that somehow recall my buried life and Paris in the spring, I feel immeasurably at peace and find the world to be wonderful after all. Both are telling us to take time, and in T.S. Eliot's poem, he is recalling memories while just sitting, taking tea. What memories may you recall while drinking tea? Who have we laughed and cried with over a cup of tea? Perhaps we may just connect to the divine while drinking tea and say a little prayer of thanks that we can actually enjoy this ritual. Lots of people are actually unable to even do this. I worked in a hospice for some time, and some of the people there just couldn't even swallow. So we are very lucky to be able to drink a cup of tea. The ritual of tea enables us to give and to receive, so it becomes a blessing. If we are mindful about what we are doing, seeing, drinking, smelling and tasting tea or coffee, it can be quite beautiful. But we do have to be mindful and take our time to do that, because often we just drink it up. So maybe the next time, well, not quite as you have the cafe tea, but when you go home, maybe take a bit more time. And it can connect us to the past, perhaps by using a teapot that was your grandma's, or a cup or mug that a dear friend bought you. There is something special about the ritual of making tea or coffee that can actually make us happy. If we are outside drinking tea, it can actually make us notice what is around us. And there must be a reason why, for very special occasions, we may treat someone to an afternoon tea. A cup of tea can definitely contribute to happiness, as I said before, through memories or actions. I have a beautiful memory of my school. One of the celebrations of Eid, the festival at the end of Ramadan, one of my parents, in order to thank all the staff, would come into the staff room at lunchtime with her beautiful Moroccan silver teapot and silver cups and other beautiful cups. We would then join in the ritual of her making her special mint tea, then pouring it and giving each of us a cup, along with a special pastry she had made for us. That was a spiritual time of sharing and connection, and a memory I won't forget. As to happiness, do we sometimes think we don't deserve happiness? Can we justify being happy when there is so much suffering in the world? Being miserable won't help, but being happy or content will make you want to actively do things to help in any way or small ways that you're able to. I believe prayer and sending healing thoughts does go out into the ether and help in some way. I don't understand it, but I do believe that. Also, being kind to others boosts the chemicals that make us happy. So perhaps find ways to be kind, and that also means being kind to yourself. Maybe start a conversation with someone, or even just smile. Two things that made me happy a week or so ago. And here again, I realise I haven't told you any of my bus stop stories for a long time. Some of you will remember I used to often include a bus stop story. Anyway, one of them was at the bus stop and one was on the bus. A middle-aged man was sitting at the bus stop. He had a prosthetic leg. He started telling me how he lost his leg through sepsis, and he had started volunteering at the prosthetic rehab centre, just helping by listening and helping through telling his own story and the things that he can now do. I was very humbled and happy that I had listened, and he was very happy that he had been given a purpose in his life. The other time I was on a bus and a beautiful big brown poodle, I think it might have been a poodle, but it was beautiful. And it got on with its owners. And I asked if I could stroke the dog. And the man said, yes, of course. But put your hand on his head first and make sure you look at him. He then went on to tell me the dog was deaf and that they communicated to the dog with special signs. They told me how much they loved the dog and how happy the dog made them. I think them talking about their special dog made them happy, and I was very happy stroking the dog as it reduced the stress and anxiety I'd been feeling. On writing this, once again, I realise happiness comes and goes, so maybe contentment is more of the answer. I'd like to finish with another story, if I may, and it's called True Happiness Lies in Contentment. I don't actually know who wrote it. Once there lived a happy cobbler who passed his days in working and singing from morning to night. A rich neighbour of his was a banker who one day said to him, "How much a year do you earn?" The cobbler laughed and said, "How much a year, sir? I never reckoned in that way. Living as I do from hand to mouth, each day brings its meal and I am happy." The banker said, "I have resolved to place you above the fear of want. Take these £1,000, preserve them carefully and use them in a time of need." The cobbler, who had never seen so much money, hurried home and buried his treasure in the earth. But alas, he buried his happiness too, because at night he could not enjoy a sound sleep. He would remain alert all night thinking of the money. Thus he lost his sleep and his happiness. One day he went to the banker and told him that his money snatched away his sleep. He told the banker to take that money back, and he finally returned that money to the banker. Again, he was able to enjoy sound sleep and mental peace and happiness. The moral of this story is money can't buy happiness, but try to be content with what you have. Perhaps happiness and contentment lie within yourself as a spiritual being, and we find these traits elusive as we're human beings. So let's take time to be kind and compassionate to ourselves and to others. Thank you for listening. And our final hymn is 125, and it's One More Step. Thank you.
One more step along the world I go. One more step along the world I go. From the old things to the new. Keep me traveling along with you. And it's from the old I travel to the new. Keep me traveling along with you.
And our last reading is called The Smile. And some of you may remember Thelma reading it. And I've chosen Linda to read it because I can remember she was so pleased with the bracelets that Linda made her, and it did evoke memories. And sorry, Linda, but it is a lovely reading. So it's called The Smile.
Yeah, definitely one of my favourites as well. The smile. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I walked around the corner and someone saw me grin. When he smiled, I realised I had passed it on to him. I thought about the smile and then realised its worth. A single smile like mine could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Start an epidemic and get the world infected.
I think that all made you feel happy. Thank you, Linda. So our closing words are by Chris Rothbauer. May our lives be reflections of the beauty, peace and joy that is possible in this world. And may the love we find in our church sustain us as we go our separate ways. Amen.